This story is narrated as part of the 2021 Novi fanfic project by the Sfarim group on Facebook. All characters and setting details belong to the original works. Pros and cons list. Warnings for anxiety, mental health, and spoilers for the end of Season 2 of Ted Lasso. Everyone knows not to bother me between 5 and 5:30. I've been in the business long enough to have a few luxuries, and one of those luxuries is having my cup of tea with a side of some goddamn peace and quiet. So we're already off to a bad start when my phone rings, just as the kettle ticks off. Trent Krim, the Independent, I practically grunt into the phone. This better be important. Yes, I'd like to report, I guess I'd like to report some news. I put my phone on loudspeaker. Then I fill the pot with water and head over to the fridge for milk. This isn't the number of the news desk. I'm afraid I can't help you. I'm walking back to the counter, fully intending to hang up, but as I'm putting down the jug, he says, "This is about AFC Richmond." What about AFC Richmond? I check that the call is being recorded. It is. Something about his voice feels off, and he sounds like someone I know. He also sounds like a coward, barely getting the words out. You know how, Coach Lasso, he walked out of the FA Cup match. I look at the screen again. It's a local number I don't recognize. I pick the phone back up and press it to my ear. He already went on record saying it was a stomach bug. Not that I believed him, because God knows he was so preoccupied that week. He only ate maize cooking and beard sandwiches, and God also knows those are made with too much love to give you food poisoning. Besides, I've seen that man gob down the world's spiciest Indian food, and his stomach is made of iron. I ask tough questions for a living, and I'm still not sure why I couldn't bring myself to call his bullshit back at the pub. It wasn't a stomach bug. Who is this? There's a few seconds of silence. I'd rather stay anonymous, if that's okay. Off the record. I really can't. It almost sounds like a child. I wonder if I'm being pranked. Who would be mean enough to prank me during tea time? In fact, who would be dumb enough? But I don't think straight when it comes to Ted Lasso. What was it then, if it wasn't a stomach bug? An anxiety attack. Shit. You call me during my tea time with a bombshell of a mystery scoop, contradicting one of my previous columns in Lasso's own account of the events. You've got three options. You either tell me who you are, provide some proof for what you just said, or get off this call until you're ready to. Let's just say I work closely with him, yeah? Between all his puns and jokes and references, the guy's a mess. He doesn't even come up with his own tactics anymore. He's too focused on himself. And it clicks, and I know where I heard that voice before. Those are some serious accusations, Wonder Kid. No, it's not. I'm not. I was only 80% sure before, but now I'm certain. Why did you call me? What are you getting out of this? I just want what's best for the team. I know enough to know he's lying, which is how I can tell he wasn't lying earlier in this call. And how is bringing Ted down what's best for Richmond? The team needs someone stable running the show if they're going to get promoted. Someone like yourself. If you want to write that, sure. Is that the headline you're after then? Wonder Kid leads AFC Richmond back to the Premier League. I focus on grilling this boy and trying to discredit him. I don't want to consider what he's saying to be true. I believe I said wonderkind. If you listen back to the... You want to be in charge, so you run your coach's name through the mud to get there. Maybe that could make a better headline. Richmond head coach betrayed by young protege. I wonder if that'll hurt Ted more than this, though. I'm telling the truth. Why should I believe you? Why should I run this? Silence again. Then I hear a weird noise, like he's spitting on the ground. I can't imagine this kid ever doing that. Then he comes back on, his voice hollow, and he says, "Because if you don't run it by tomorrow, I'll take it to the sun." And he hangs up. I stare at the screen. I can't believe it has come to this. I type the title of the document. Pros and cons list. Pros. It's my job to write articles. Beating the sun to scoops is what pays my bills. This will get out anyways, and at least this way I control the narrative and maybe not completely ruin his life. I can give him a heads up and a chance to get behind this. Cons. There's no way he wants this out. There is no way the British press will let this slide. There is no way he'll ever associate me with anything else, ever again. I look at that last point and wonder when I became so terrified of being the bearer of bad news. But between being relegated, being away from home, getting a divorce, this feels like kicking a mustached puppy when he's down. But who is Trent Grimm, if not the guy you call when you need a puppy kicked? I add some line breaks below the list. Title: Coach Lasso suffered panic attack during FA Cup match, says anonymous source. I feel sick to my stomach and my mouth is dry. I realize I stopped making my tea halfway. I get up, walk to the kitchen and pour the now oversteeped mess in the sink. This is why you never interrupt a man when he's making a cuppa. I pour myself a whiskey instead. I make the mistake of thinking about Ted again, what it'll be like when I tell him. I imagine his smile when he sees my name on his phone. I imagine it wiped away by this news. God, I hope he smiles when he sees my name. I'm overthinking this, so I turn on the telly. Great work from AFC Richmond today, Arlo. A first hat-trick for Obisanya, and you have to wonder if that's still the Roy Kent effect pulling Richmond up, or if they're American coaches in charge of this beautiful work. Either way, they're only one win away from being promoted back to their rightful place. It's like the universe is telling me not to shake this. Except, I don't think I could shake this man if I tried. I look away from his face on the TV and walk back to my work desk. God, let them talk about literally anything else. Of course they don't. Instead, they show one of Sam's goals again. And I realize I have seen this clip enough times today to know it's the second of the three just by the roar of the audience. I hear his voice on the recording yelling, "Attaboy, Sam!" and look back up. Then I turn the TV off. Damn it. I keep typing. Lasso reported to have left the pitch due to food poisoning. Now sources claim panic attacks the reason behind exit. I take a deep breath and write another couple of paragraphs that nobody's going to read. It's all in the headline these days, and I can't spin this headline to work for him. I'm a good writer, but I'm not a miracle worker. I choose a photo from that match. I zoom in on his face and beat myself up for not seeing it sooner. Nobody is this happy. And then it hits me. He will most definitely have a panic attack when he sees this. I tell myself that it's not my fault, that I cannot possibly stop this from running, and it helps a little. The whiskey helps a lot. I send the short text off to my editor, who replies with a thumbs up, and then a shocked emoji a few minutes later, and my numbness turns to guilt again. I look at the rest of the photos that come up when I search the database for his name. It really is beautiful in an odd American way. His smile lights up the whole room in a way you rarely see with Brits, like he's saying, I have good dental insurance and I don't mind showing it off. But that leads me to thinking about his teeth and then his mouth, and that's dangerous territory, so I keep scrolling. There's a photo of him and the kid, Nathan Shelley. He's jumping into his arms. Pretty early shot of them, I think. First win, maybe. They both look happy, and I wonder if that happiness is even real. How little this kid must think of himself to throw his mentor under the bus. I wish I saw less of my young self in that. My phone pings, a welcome distraction, and it's a link for the article. Will be printed tomorrow. Try to get a comment if you can. So much for giving him a heads up. I pull his number from the Richmond contact list. It's a US cell number, so this is going to be both uncomfortable and expensive. I wish this didn't have to be my first text to him. I wish I'd texted him on one of the countless nights I thought about him before. One of the good ones, just to say hi, congratulate him on a good game. Hey, I type and delete, feeling like I haven't earned this casual tone with him. Hello, Coach Lasso. I delete again, too formal. Maybe I should call, but this guy sees right through me even when I'm sober, and I've had 3 whiskeys already. I settle on, hello, Ted. This is Trent Crim, and send it off before I can regret it. This has been up for almost an hour already, and I can't waste time. The Independent, I add, spontaneously, hoping it'll make him laugh. Give him something to hold on to, at least. Or give me something to hold on to, if not. This will be in the print edition tomorrow morning. I attach the link. Message delivered. Message read. No answer. What have I done? I wonder if someone else already sent it to him. I wonder if he hates me already. Hates me too much to respond, perhaps. I wonder if I would take his hate over his indifference and decide that yes, I probably would. For someone who writes for a living, constructing these texts is more difficult than it should be. As a journalist, I had to write that. I look back at my laptop and see his photo with the kid. He has the right to know. But as someone who respects you, sure, respect, that's what this is. My source was Nate. Message delivered. Message read. More silence. Fuck. Are you okay? I type and delete. I'm so sorry. I type and delete. I wish I didn't have to do this. I type and delete. I'm here for you. What can I do? I type and delete. Just talk to me. Say something. Say anything. Would you care to comment? I stare at my screen for half a second and hit send. No comment. I put my phone away. I glance back at my list. Prose. There's no chance he'll like you back now, so you can stop dreaming about him. Cons. You won't stop dreaming about him, and you know it. It's late. I close my laptop shut and head to bed, but whenever I close my eyes I imagine his face contorting as he reads my words. At some point I give up trying. If I don't sleep, I won't dream of him at all. I cry until the sun rises.